So after years of anticipation, the final chapter of the No More Heroes saga is finally here with No More Heroes 3. As a longtime fan of the series, I'm having a blast jumping back into the bizarre No More Heroes universe, and I thought I'd give some quick initial impressions of the latest entry after spending a good amount of time with the opening hours for those who might be curious about jumping in. I'm going to try to keep things relatively spoiler-free with mostly early footage of the game, but if you don't want any of the game's many surprises ruined, now's your chance to get out of here. And real quick, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything happening with the channel. And with that out of the way, let's get into No More Heroes 3. If you're going into the third game blind, there's quite a bit to catch up on. No More Heroes was created by legendary game designer Suda51 of Killer 7 fame, and stars main protagonist Travis Touchdown, who is essentially a cross between Johnny Knoxville, a 90s assassin movie character, and a driver from Crazy Taxi. The first game in the series released on the Wii back in 2007, making some waves with its incredibly over-the-top, hyper-stylized, and satirical presentation. Being a bit of a cosmic gumbo of influences ranging from retro video games, punk music, anime, Japanese pro wrestling, and Quentin Tarantino films, the original No More Heroes created a bizarre style and foundation for the series that is uniquely its own. 2010 brought us a direct sequel with No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, again on the Wii, which was a bit of a streamlining of the first game, bringing several quality of life improvements and gameplay refinements, and mostly eliminating the open world sections. It wouldn't be until 2019 that we got Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, releasing on the Nintendo Switch and PS4, and according to Suda51, Travis Strikes Again is more of a spin-off, changing up the signature action-adventure gameplay of the mainline games for a top-down hack-and-slash that saw Travis starring in a variety of separate games within the game. And that brings us to No More Heroes 3, a real return to form that most closely resembles the first game in the series, and not to spoil any of the major details, you're facing off against an evil alien invader and his 10 henchmen to keep them from destroying Earth, and you really don't need to know much more than that. And while I think playing the previous games would definitely give you some context and a better understanding of what you're in for with the third installment, you'll be okay starting with this latest entry. The structure of the game is essentially a mashup of early 2000s open world games with frenetic and most importantly fun hack-and-slash combat. You'll make your way around the city either fighting in smaller battles or completing minigame challenges like mowing lawns or picking up trash to save up enough money to challenge a boss and climb the ranks as an assassin. Your weapon of choice is your trusty beam katana, essentially a DIY lightsaber that you can chain light and heavy attacks with to stun enemies and then drop them into a suplex or pull off a direction-prompted finishing move. On paper, it's hardly a groundbreaking concept, but what sets everything apart here is the hyper-stylized presentation. 8-bit pixels dripping off of everything in the UI, violent and exaggerated blood spurts from enemies' severed heads and limbs, flickering VHS and CRT filters, and cinematic trailers and animated cutscenes that unexpectedly punctuate the gameplay. There's also so much love and reverence for retro gaming with so many references and genre mashups from moment to moment that it can be dizzying and almost disorienting at times. There's also plenty of juvenile humor and celebration of trash culture, saving your game on the toilet, unclogging toilets around town to unlock save points, heavy use of profanity, hilarious and bizarre dialogue, and of course the incredibly suggestive way Travis charges his beam katana. So I think what's really going to determine if you enjoy No More Heroes 3 or not is if you're already a fan of the series or Suda51's previous work, or if this kind of overall vibe is something that resonates with you. If you don't have a lot of enthusiasm for the game's influences, then I'm not sure the core gameplay will be quite enough to pull you in. And beyond the overall structure being a bit dated, don't worry that all being part of the joke is not lost on me, there's also a very distinct lack of polish in certain aspects of the gameplay and performance. It can be tough to tell if some of the jank is a bug or a feature of the game at this point, but I do feel that No More Heroes 3 wouldn't be quite the same without it, and there's a lot of things like this. Like, I'm not sure if the incredibly sparse open world sections are due to more of a budgetary limitation or a reference to the early days of open world gaming, or a bit of both. For me, there's so much to love here, but if I wasn't a fan of anime or hadn't grown up during the heyday of Sega arcade games or the early days of open world games, I'm not sure No More Heroes 3 would hit quite as hard. I could certainly see younger players not relating to some of No More Heroes 3's references or finding some of the clunkiness and jank to be frustrating enough to not see it through to the end. So hopefully if you're on the fence about this game, this quick little video helped guide your purchase decision a little bit, or if you're a No More Heroes fan already, well, then you probably already picked this up and are enjoying it just as much as I am. Let me know down in the comments if you're planning on picking this game up or what your favorite game in the No More Heroes series is. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like on your way out and also consider subscribing. And until the next video, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.